Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and yes, I've had my hair cut. Obviously hairdressers aren't open at the moment, so I managed to get some hair clippers off the internet, and yeah, finally got my hair cut. A little bit shorter than I normally do, but it's not annoying me anymore. But as for today, we are going to be starting issue 28 of Build Your Own X-Wing. Now I thought I was catching up, and then I had the delivery yesterday of more X-Wings. So I had another 3 come yesterday, so I'm going to try keep going until I'm finally caught up on this model. But let's get started on this issue, so let's get modelling. Okay, so today we are going to be working on the lower port wing mounts. And we're going to actually be assembling the wing. Now I've got all my parts laid out. I've got my screws out the bags. Today we have XW02 screws, we have XW03 screws, XW04 screws, and XW05 screws. We've also got these parts that have come as well. Some of the pipes and bits, and we don't actually need these for this issue, so we're just going to bob them aside and we're going to bring the wing over. So this is what we've been working on in previous issues. Okay, so what I need to do is I just need to flip that over, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attaching this wing part to this part of the wing as well. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is need to bring over this wing part, and we're just going to bring it down and line it up with what I would say 2 holes here and here. Okay, and we will now need to secure this in place with some XW02 screws. We've got quite a few of these screws. So while holding the model in place and the wing in place, I'm just going to quickly get a couple of screws in, and then I don't have to hold the model at all. Well, I can actually take my hand off it. So it wants us to put one in here, 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 here and here. Now, I learnt my lesson from the last time I did this. You really have to look at the instructions to where you are putting the screws in, because if you like me last time, I actually put them in the wrong place and I had to redo it all. So hopefully by the 4th wing I'll know what I'm doing. So we'll get that 4th in, there we go, and we just need one last screw, and we're going to put this in as well. So now we've got that in, so we've got screw in there, screw in there, screw in there, screw in there and screw in there, and that's the XW02 screws. So the next part it wants us to bring over is this part here. This is nice and metal, and it just wants us to simply slot this down into place there, but it doesn't want us to secure it yet. Next we need to bring over this part here, and we need to be bobbing this bit down into here. Again, we're not securing it yet. And then lastly we need to bring across this part here and slot this into place like so. There we go, into place. Okay, so now is the time we need to start. We need to go through the instructions properly and make sure we put these in with the correct screws. The first part bit it wants us to do is secure these 2 here down in place with an XW02 screw. So I will do that now. And let's get the second one in. And that's the second one in place. Okay. The next screws it wants us to do is these 2 here with the same screw, XW02 screw. Or XW02 screw. Okay. So nearly got that in place. And then he wants us to do these 4 here with the same screw, XW02 screw. So let's get all 4 of them in place. When I'm screwing screws into models, I always do it finger tight. I don't want to over tighten the screws. Okay, let's get this 3rd one in. Oh, slipped in that one. Okay, let's get this 3rd one in. Now, looking at the parts that's come for this model, it looks like we're going to be starting the next wing as well with the parts that I've got. So, okay, that's now in place. Okay, so the next screw holes it wants us to screw in are these 2 here, and that has to be done with an XW04 screw. So we're just working our way around the model, making sure that we get this all into place and into place properly. I must stress about that. Now I'm going to need my PH00 screwdriver for these 04 screws. Seem to be a little bit smaller heads than the others. And that doesn't seem to want to go in. Lined it up. No, PH0 apparently. It was just slipping. Ah, there we go. Into place. That's 1 in. And then this is the 2nd one in. Okay. So next one is this screw hole here. And that is an XW04 screws again. Let's get this into place. I've just noticed I need to just apply a little pressure just so that I can get that screw in and lined up. And that's in. It's a little bit out, so I'll just try and put a bit more on it. There we go. Okay, so the next screw hole, it is going to be, let's see, this one here and this one here, and that's an XW04 screw. Okay, so making sure we have the right screw. Yep. Now, in the instructions, there is a little bit of a mistake. It tells you to put this one in step 15, but in step 16 it says followed by these 3, but you've already got that one in, so bit of a mistake there in the magazine. Okay, and that is in place like so. So the next screw hole, we need an XW03 screw, and the next one we want to be doing is this one here. So let's put an XW03 screw in, and then another XW03 screw in this hole here. Just move this bit down so you can see. Okay, that's now in place. Okay, so turning the page of the instructions. Okay, so the next 2 holes are these 2 here, and that's an XW03 screw. Now I know when you find sort of coming to the end of your screws, because you always have one spare. So I'm guessing the next screws we're going to be using are XW05 screws. So let's get them in. And yes, I'm correct. So this, and this want to be screwed in with the XW05 screws. Yay. Okay. Let's get that first one in. And 4 in all to put in. Let's put the third in. And let's put the last one in. And that's the last screw we have to be doing for this issue. So we have got quite a bit done. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to train this wire around the body of the wing. So just by simply bobbing this in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of black insulation tape just to sort of hold it down, this connector here, because I did have problems last time connecting it up. It should be placed like that, but I'm just going to give myself a tiny bit, maybe 2 mil space just to work with. Last time I actually glued this down and that was a huge mistake. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to train this wire around the wing. Now this bit can be extremely, that one word, fiddly. But if you just use a small screwdriver and just be gentle with the wire, don't go in all guns blazing, you will be able to do it. If you go in all guns blazing, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go through the wire, and that you do not want, because then it means getting another issue unless you're a competent electrician, and yeah, you're going to be in a bit of a nightmare. So let's just train this nice leg to go into place. Keeps wanting to pop out at this end. Now if that is the case, then what I'm going to do, because it won't do any harm, we won't see it, is just bob a bit of insulation tape over that so it stays in place. I will take the insulation tape off once we're ready to put the top of the wing on, but this is just making it a little bit easier for me now. You see, you always learn from your mistakes. I made quite a few on this wire last time. It was an absolute nightmare to do, but just by taking your time and just working it through, you can do. So we've come to the point now that it dips down into the frame, and then you see stuff like that happens, which is so frustrating, but we're not going to let it get to us. We're actually going to hold that wire down while we train it to go down. I'm just going to use another screwdriver for this. It is like you are in an operating theatre. Okay, so let's get that wire down if we can. Then we've got two of the pegs. I know it is so hard for you to see, so let me just turn it round and you can probably see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Would you believe it, outside it's just started chucking it down. And we're in June. So good old British weather for you. So I'm just going to turn it behind this wire. Right, let me just do this at a better angle for me. Doesn't seem to want to go behind that hole. Well, behind the slot we need to get it into. So come on, let's get you in. It definitely needs to go behind this slot. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'll come off stream. Let's get this wire done properly. and then I'll come back on stream, I think. Or should we just keep going with it? You know what, let's just keep going with it. I'm just going to put some black tape there to hold the wire in place. And I don't have to worry about it coming off that top end. Come on, let's do this. We can do it. It's because you have to get the wire flat to get it behind this peg. So let's get a flathead screwdriver out of my little box. Here we are, nice little flathead screwdriver. Oh, I won't call it little. It is big. I mean, I do have a lot of screwdrivers. Oh, I'm modelling, and that screwdriver doesn't want to stay with me. I try not to edit videos because I like you to see what I'm doing live. And then you don't think, well, he's done that easy. Because I probably haven't. I probably had the same issue you guys are having. Right, so that's now down into there. Okay. And then we just need to bring it around this sort of little peg. Let me turn it around so you can see. And then it's just going to go out of the model. Sort of there. Just get it down over this little peg, just taking my time, no rush. And that is the wire, as you can see, in place there. I didn't have to go off stream, so I'm happy. And that's all we need to do for this stage. So we've attached both parts now of the wing, and we've now trained that wire to go around. Like I said, when it comes to putting the other part of this on, I will take this black tape off, because what will happen in that time is the wire will have trained itself to be in the position it is in. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. You know what I've just realised? I haven't had that on. I didn't notice that. Oh well. So thank you for tuning in today to this stage 28 of the X-Wing. Not much to do, but there's a lot of steps in the magazine to do, and that wire is a bit of a nightmare. But if you like this video, then please give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future content coming up on my channel. But as for always, bye for now, guys. Bye.